Good morning, sir and ma'am. I welcome you all, sir, respected sir and ma'am. Myself, Prakash Badolia, Assistant Director, CAPT Bhopal. I am the conference secretary for this conference, and we will start the inaugural session at 10. So I request all of you to, our chief guest has already arrived, and I request all of you to please keep your mobile phone on silent mode. And as the chief guest will arrive, we will start the inaugural session. Thank you. Sir, this conference is YouTube live, so you can share the link with your colleagues and other officers of your department so that everybody can watch the conference. So the chief guest, sir, has arrived. Sir. Good morning, sir. Prakash, sir. Morning, sir. A very warm good morning to all the officers present here. And first of all, as the tradition of CAPT, I would like to request Honorable Director Sir Shri Pawan Srivastava IPS to welcome our chief guest by presenting a book. It is a tradition of CAPT that instead of bouquet, we welcome our chief guest with book. Thank you so much, sir. It is my proud privilege to welcome Shri Ashutosh Pandey, Director General Prosecution of Uttar Pradesh, Shri Pawan Srivastava, Director CAPT Bhopal, Shri B.K. Sharma, Shri Mulchan, Assistant Director CAPT Bhopal. It is indeed a special privilege and pleasure to welcome all the learned and senior officers from judiciary, police, prosecution, and forensic science who are here with us for this two-day national conference on prosecution. We are pleased to be able to welcome those of you that have been with us for years, as well as those of you who are new to the conference and joining this conference for the first time. I would also like to welcome the NGOs working in Bhopal and our guest faculty. It is an honor to introduce our respected director, Shri Pawan Srivastava, sir, before inviting him for the opening address. Shri Pawan Srivastava, IPS, he was born in Devariya, Eastern UP on 28th of December 1965. He has completed his undergraduate and postgraduate studies at Allahabad University and then pursued his MPhil in oceanography in the School of Environmental Science from JNU. Subsequently, sir joined the Indian Police Service in the year 1992 in Madhya Pradesh cadre. He has served as Superintendent of Police in Jhabua, Narsinghpur, Guna, and Bhopal district of Madhya Pradesh. He has also commanded the 1st, 7th, and 15th battalions of Madhya Pradesh, Special Armed Forces. As DIG, he was on deputation to the Madhya Pradesh Department of Culture as head of the department. He also served as DIG Indore Range and IG at RAPTC Indore and Rewa Zone and SF Indore Zone. On promotion as additional DG, sir joined the BPR&D and was posted as director of CAPT in the year 2017. His professionalism, excellent communication skill, meaningful training, deep knowledge of policing, and a passion for continuous learning enabled the CAPT to achieve new heights in the field of training. CAPT has won the Union Home Minister Trophy for Best Police Training Institute in the year 2019-20. His flexibility, creativity, and scientific vision enabled him to develop a mobile app for crime scene photography and videography. He developed the SOP for crime scene photography and videography. Sir has been awarded with various medals and decorations. He is the recipient of President Police Medal for Distinguished Service, President Police Medal for Meritorious Service, United Nations Mission in Kosovo Peacekeeping Medal. He is also the recipient of the Chief Minister Pistol for excellent work in eradication of dacoity, and recently he has been awarded with Home Minister Medal for his contribution in the field of police training for the year 2019-20. And now I would like to request our Honorable Director, sir, for their opening address. Respected sir.
Chief guest of today's program, Shri Ashutosh Pandey, Director General Prosecution, Uttar Pradesh, and my dear friends here. A very warm welcome to the Central Academy for Police Training. आगे का भाषण मैं भूल गया. सच में भूल गया. So I welcome you all here in the 5th edition of this National Conference for Prosecution Officers. I am very happy that this year we have, as you had suggested to us in the previous occasions, we have a very healthy participation of judicial officials from all over the country. I am also happy to tell you that the recommendations that you had made in the previous 4 occasions have reached MHA. They have been discussed. But I understand that insofar as taking any action on it is concerned, it might take a little more time. Therefore, what should we do then? What should we do? To me and to my understanding, insofar as we, the pillars of the criminal justice administration are concerned, we have always been looking towards someone कि कोई अवतार आएगा, नरसिम्हा अवतार आएगा और वो हिरण्याकश्यप का वध करेगा, जो ना आदमी होगा, ना जानवर होगा, ना दिन में करेगा, ना रात में करेगा. So we are looking forward to something that someone would come and give blessings to us. I find that that is a very, very difficult proposition. We are in the police department, and we have been speaking about the police reforms for a fairly long time. And despite now 15 years of Prakash Singh, the verdict in the Prakash Singh case, you know what is happening in the country. You know what police reforms have actually come unto. So what do we do? So I propose here on this 5th occasion of this national conference that we have to start within ourselves. हम किसी और का मुंह देखते रहेंगे कि ये आकर के हमारा उद्धार कर देगा, तो बड़ा कठिन है, बहुत कठिन है, बहुत ज़्यादा कठिन है. आप तो बहुत छोटा पोर्शन हो क्रिमिनल जस्टिस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का. पुलिस करीब करीब 20 लाख सिविल पुलिस है पूरे देश में. हम भी बाट जो रहे हैं कि हाँ होगा, समथिंग विल हैपन. नो, इट इज़ नॉट हैपनिंग. Despite the Supreme Court's intervention, it is not happening. Therefore, I might appear a little pessimistic right now, but I am not. I am just trying to swing the mood, trying to swing our expectations from the system to ourselves. When we start to make whatever changes we desire from within ourselves, then we can, of course, make a change. So I have 2 things to propose to you. The first is, as Director of Prosecution, you may not have access to the powers that be. Insofar as police officials are concerned, who are DG's prosecution, they might have an access, but others might not have an access to the powers that be. The first proposal that I am trying to make to you is that you should start using your positioning as an influence maker to the powers that be. आज मध्य प्रदेश का, यूपी का डीजी प्रोसिक्यूशन अगर समय मांगता है मुख्यमंत्री जी से, तो उसको तुरंत ना मिले, हफ्ते भर में मिल जाएगा. Let us wait for a month, maybe 2 months. But we must go and seek whatever directions or whatever our problems are, हमारी पीड़ा जो है, whatever we have, is we must go and tell it to the powers that be. And I think that is doable. It'll just take a little time. The second thing that I'm trying to propose here is very, very simple. Many of you have been here in this academy for a fairly long time. You know what we are doing. In any case, Prakash and his school, they have been organizing many different courses for the prosecution officers in so many different areas, and he has been sending this invitation to the prosecution officials of all over the country, and we have been getting fairly good representation in all of our courses. My proposal to you here is very simple, and we have already done that with the Madhya Pradesh Prosecution Department. The second proposal is to enable yourself enough so that whenever you stand and whenever you speak, I'm not saying argue in the court, but whenever you speak so much of sense that everyone listens to you. And how do you do that? So what I'm going to propose here is that besides the in-service courses that we organize here, if it is possible for you, for all the new entrants into your department from now onward, if it is possible for you to send them here so that we can teach them for 3 months how to go about appearing in front of court, how to present yourself, how to speak well. और कानून जहाँ तक की है वो तो हम बताएंगे, वो तो खुद भी बहुत सारे पढ़े हुए होंगे, जो लेटेस्ट चीज़ें हैं वो भी हम बताएंगे. But what is more important is how to present yourself, how to argue. This is what we are going. We have already done this in a 3-month course for sometimes in 2018 for the Madhya Pradesh Prosecution Department. And I propose that we do this from now onwards for all the fresh recruits in your department. चिंता ना करो कि 3 आदमी हैं, 2 आदमी हैं, 8 आदमी हैं, मैं कराऊंगा उनको. We must take a step. So my 2 proposals are very, very simple. So when you have enabled yourself, when you become a good speaker, कानून की जानकारी तो ज़रूरी है, पर अपने आप को प्रेजेंट कैसे करना है, how you are going to speak in front of the other, whether he is a judge or whether he is a senior prosecutor or whether it is power that be. You have to present yourself. So I take the onus of training the new recruits of the prosecution department, and also all those people whom you think as senior prosecution officials or director of prosecution, if you think that he requires certain training, you are always welcome to send them to this academy so that we can train themselves. We might be named as Central Academy for Police Training, but you know for sure that we are not confined to police only. Our wingspan has encompassed prosecution and the correctional administration as well. And this is a good start that we have close to about 50 judicial officials who are participating in this prosecution. And I personally feel that if all 4, and the fifth one is forensic science, if all of us get together, then the very purpose of criminal justice administration would be suitably served. The third part that I wish to tell you, and the focus in the initial session now, is what ICJS is. What I understand is that it is a beautiful system that the implementation of this technology helps all of us, all pillars of criminal justice administration, to understand the nuances, to understand the issues, to understand the case properly, and so that there is a seamless transition from the investigation to the prosecution, to the judiciary, to the jail, and of course forensic science is integrated into it. So we would like to give you a glimpse मैंने उसके लिए एक प्रिपरेशन किया था. देयर इज शिवानी. वी हैड जस्ट रिसेंटली organized a course on CCTNS for senior officials, and there was a mix of prosecution, forensic science, correctional administration, and police officials in that course, and we had shown a glimpse of ICJS. We have a standalone environment of CCTNS and ICJS, so if someone wishes to work on it, see how it functions, it is available to all of you, and it is available to all those who come here for the training. So the glimpse of that ICJS and what has been attained by judicious use of ICJS would be presented by Shri Ashutosh Pandey. So my three proposals are very, very simple. Kindly bear it in your mind. First, भूल गया देखो मैं फिर. So first is to enable yourself and start speaking, to the persons who make the decisions. One. Number two is that you enable yourself. How do you do that? By training the freshly recruited prosecution officials, sending them here, or for in-service courses. You can always send them here. And to understand ICJS. These are my three proposals to you. And as has been already promised to you on earlier occasions, whatever would be decided this time, we shall certainly take it to the Bureau, and from the Bureau to the Ministry of Home Affairs. My understanding insofar as the ministries are concerned, as because, again, criminal justice administration is a state subject, and therefore they have little problems. And then again, I'll come back to the Prakash Singh judgment. So let us not get into that. But these three options, these three offers from this academy are available to you. I would encourage you, I would seek guidance from you, how to enable ourselves much better. I welcome the judicial officials here again, and the very purpose of asking you to come and attend this conference is very, very simple. First is to have an interaction and to understand the issues that concern them. And together, I understand that it would be much easier for us when we understand the issues, we understand the problems, we try to find out the solutions. So I welcome the judicial officials, and as has been the previous practice, if you have any issues, any problems, Prakash is here, and it is always a pleasure to receive you. With those words, I look forward to a very fruitful discussion amongst all of you and some fruitful recommendations that you are going to give to us over the next 2 days. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening all of us with your words of wisdom. And now, before inviting Shri Ashutosh Pandey, sir, for their inaugural address, I would like to give a brief about sir. Shri Ashutosh Pandey, sir, is an IPS officer of 1992 batch of Uttar Pradesh cadre. He is presently holding the charge of ADG prosecution in Uttar Pradesh since 28th of August 2019. He had been senior SP of Varanasi, Lucknow, Agra, Bareilly, Gorakhpur, Muzaffarnagar, Bijnor, Hamirpur, Basti, Etawah, Manpuri, and IG of Agra, Meerut, and controlled the riots in Muzaffarnagar and brought normalcy in the district. He lectured 5 batches of IPS officers in the National Police Academy, Hyderabad, on how to control riots. As ADG Technical Service, Uttar Pradesh, he completed implementation of CCTNS in Uttar Pradesh and also awarded first prize for UP-COP, the best police mobile app of India by Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. As ADG prosecution, he was awarded first prize for implementation of ICGS project in prosecution in India twice for the year 2021 and for the year 2022 by Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. The conviction rate in crime against women became highest in the country, around 60% for the last 3 years, except northeastern states. So, the UP is performing very well in this part. Sir is the recipient of President Police Medal. He has experience of many digital India mission platforms of Government of India like CCTNS, eFSL, e-prosecution, ICGS, e-prosecution, mobile app, e-office, and e-HRMS, Manav Sampada, e-courts, service app, and UP-COP. So we are very fortunate that sir has spared his valuable time for this conference. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request you, sir, to please inaugurate the conference for your inauguration. Respected sir.
Director CAPT present over here, Badolia ji, the senior officers on the dais, and the august gathering of the honorable judges, the prosecutors, the police officers, the scientists, the NGOs, and all the best persons in the country from different states of India. I am really thankful to all of you for being here to listen to me. And I am thankful to Director CAPT for inviting me here, because he is the person who has nurtured this institute to make it of national importance. And here we are, today is a very important day because we are witness to the 5th National Conference on Prosecution. Having a national conference on different topics, but having a national conference on prosecution, and that's the 5th one, and that too in this campus, speaks volumes about the Director CAPT. So we should give him a clap. And before I started, you see here you have different topics for next 2 days. I have tried to emphasize the Digital India Mission and the national agenda of the country to make the Indian criminal justice system go digital by 2025. And for that, the country is preparing itself. And you see, we have different standalone, well-established digital platforms created by NIC. Like for the courts, we have the e-courts. For the police, we have the CCTNS. For the prosecution, we have e-prosecution. For FSL, we have e-FSL. For the prison, we have e-prison. And we are incorporating other digital platforms also, like WCD, Women Child Development, like Arms License Identification System, ALICE. We are also adding to that. NAFIS will be added to that. So it keeps on adding so that all the sources of information are at the one digital platform, and that is called ICJS. And to make it more effective, we are going for mobile apps also, so that you can perform your duty and task from the place where you are working. And the crux of my presentation, the crux of my, you can say, the talk will be what will be the impact of Indian criminal justice system. For the judges, it is bringing out the truth. For the prosecutors, it is getting the accused convicted because they are fighting on the side of the state. They are representing the state. For the FSL scientists, it is presenting the material evidence with a digital signature that we have proved that this is correct. So everybody is performing its own duty and responsibilities on this Digital India Mission platform. This is the topic of the conference you are going to have for the next 2 days. You see the topic. The crux is that we should have the convergence of trio. Trio means the police, the prosecutors, and the judiciary. They should not be a standalone. Like the Trimurti, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh type. It should be all combined. The convergence of these trio will make the Indian criminal justice system very effective, very powerful. And you will be delivering justice very fast. Because the common problem is that gawah par gawah, tarikh par tarikh, something like that. We keep on listening in pictures and movies, and also in the different addresses of our Honorable Home Minister also, when he was addressing the Police Science Congress in Lucknow, he was saying tarikh par tarikh. All these things will vanish once these trio work together and there is convergence of these digital India platforms without any ego, just having the task that we have to conclude this case. The case could go in the side of the prosecution or it should go in the side of the defense. And there are many other things about the improvement, the strengthening of prosecution. Prosecution is something all over the world. All over the world, globally, prosecution is a fractured structure. You have the state public service commissions, we are appointing the prosecutors, we have the political appointees, DGC, ADGCs, we have different names like district attorneys, like the APOs, POs, SPOs, joint directors. We have different names. But the fact is that prosecution is fractured. And all over the world, it's not that only in UP and Bihar or in India, all over the world, the reason could be many. I won't discuss the reason why it is fractured. But the need of the hour is to make a unified prosecution hierarchy so that the prosecution works on its own in unison, so that the APOs, POs, SPOs working together with the government appointees like the DGCs, ADGCs, or the public prosecutors. Others we will discuss next 2 days. This is the ICJS. What is ICJS? ICJS is nothing, it's a common platform. It allows, like the Uber you see, different vehicles, cars, it has given only one platform where you can share the mobile numbers of different drivers. ICJS is the same platform where all the stakeholders, you see, they can communicate to each other. They can shake hands with each other on predetermined data, what they want. Suppose I want that the judges have given bail, or they are going to listen the bail argument on such date. That data should come to CCTNS so that the IOs can prepare themselves for the bail argument. Suppose for the final argument you are giving the date. The date should be communicated to the prosecutors so that the prosecutor can prepare in advance for the final argument so that they can submit their written final argument. They will be well prepared for that. So the data should be shared. Like from the prison, you can share the data of the criminal history of the prisoners. Like as judges, you can ask the IOs to present the criminal history so that you can get the whole picture of the accused. Because the defense will be saying that he is an honest person. With the criminal history, with the full proof, with the digital signature, you get the criminal history of the accused. Then you are in a better position to decide yourself. And how it does? You have the previous agreements. To reach the previous agreement, you have the ICJS meeting. The Government of India, the MHA, has given to all the states that you should hold the state-level apex committee meeting of ICJS, chaired by the Chief Secretary of the state. The members are DGP, Principal Secretary Home, and the Registrar High Court, Director FSL. So all the stakeholders are member to that. So whatever the problem you have, like if you are a judge and you are not consuming the charge sheet, or you are not able to consume the FIR is not coming to your court digitally. So you can communicate there. And if you are not able to read the FIR, you can communicate there. So different problems what you have, that can be raised on that. Based on that, the NIC prepares a program which is called Web Service Call. And through Web Service Call, that's a program, software program, you fetch that data seamlessly without any problem. And by FIR for the police, it's FIR, for the judges, it is CNR, case number record. And through that web service API, you get the report, different reports, like the prison report, the report from the CCTNS about the criminal history of a person. And different states have devised their different dashboards to monitor the prosecution, to monitor the investigation. So, like Telangana is very advanced in that, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Orissa has done a lot, and they have received a national award for making a dashboard where they can monitor the SC/ST cases, the compensation given to the SC/ST victims from the Social Empowerment Ministry. So it has become easy and seamless. Tamil Nadu, for the Motor Vehicle Act problem, you must be, the judges must be knowing about the Motor Vehicle Act tribunals you are heading, and the problem you have in getting all the data about the motor vehicle report, the postmortem report, the vehicle inquiry report, everything. They have created a platform, Tamil Nadu. They have created a platform, and they have settled the tune of motor vehicle claims of about 40 crores. So you can use such dashboards in improving yourself and getting a fast decision. Here you can see this is one of Gomti Nagar police station. You can, all are hyperlink. You just click there and you can go deep into that about knowing the status of the different accused. This is the ITSO portal you must be knowing, Investigation Tracking System for Sexual Offenders. It's a beautiful system, fetching the data directly from CCTNS, no fudging, and all the states are compared on that by MHA. And the states can also compare their different districts on different platforms. And the Supreme Court ruling that within 2 months you must complete the investigation. But completing the investigation, ordering that, and getting that effected, they are two different things. NCRB has done, MHA has done a beautiful job in making a program where ITSO report, the DGP or the SP or any officer, they can evaluate which district or which police station is working and all are hyperlinked. You go and you will feel that where the investigation is lagging, where is pending much. So it's a beautiful tool. You see the first 5 districts were performing very well. The last 5 districts were not performing well. So we have got a tool where we can implement that Supreme Court order. I have raised many issues before the Supreme Court also, the High Court also, that instead of passing orders, we should also have a system to implement that order. So here is a beautiful example of implementing this Honorable Supreme Court order to improve the system and improve the data and to analyze, to track the cases on the CCTNS, directly from the CCTNS, real time. This is an example I want to highlight my prosecutors, especially to the prosecutors, that you have different problems. Judges also, to some extent, you have different pendencies. You need more courts, you need more judges, you need more prosecutors. But my view is different. And I feel you will be also feeling different after 2 slides. Take, for example, on the top right, as you see, 60,000 pending POXO cases in UP, 60,000. What logarithmic equation you will devise to make it 0? Impossible. In my lifetime, it's impossible. Just case of Lucknow, you see, you have 2,172 pending cases. In 1 year, you are disposing only 54, and conviction is only 37. Green is conviction, red is disposal, and the black data is pending. Can you devise a way how many judges you will increase, how many prosecutors you will increase, how many courts you will increase to make it 0? And if you devise a way where you increase the number of judges 100 times, prosecutors 1,000 times, it means what we are devising is not a good one. There is some fallacy. So what I did, this was an eye-opener for me. And going with that, for the last 2 years, UP is getting in the country the best prosecution trophy on e-prosecution. We haven't changed. We haven't got any resources. Just this data has opened my eyes. And how I am concentrating on prosecution, I will share you later. So this is an eye-opener. With the best of the effort, we are number 1 in the country. We have received 2 successive years the trophy for the best prosecution in the country. The highest conviction rate in the crime against women. Still, just I wanted to show you, just to emphasize the point, that even with the best of our effort, the disposal is only 9.1%. It's almost twice when you compare 2021, when 2022 is not that, it's the achievement of the prosecutor. The judges are the cases are decided by the judges. So ultimately, the credit goes to the judges. And not only judges, if the witnesses don't come to the courts, the judges won't do anything. So the credit also goes to the police for bringing the witnesses to the courts. And credit also goes to the prosecutors that they are not going for adjournments, they are preparing themselves, and they are helping the court in concluding the cases. So it is the combined credit of all the trial, even with the best of the effort, only 9.1%. So what will you do? A system where the success rate is 9%, if you start a vehicle and it functions at only 9.1% or 10% of its capacity, you will throw it away. So again, it's an eye-opener. And so we have to strategize ourselves. This is the strategy I adopted. And adopting the strategy, getting it implemented at the 3 different agencies. Getting conviction is not only one person's effort. What I am emphasizing you have to shed the egos, and everybody has to think about the case, not about the position. That I am the judge, I am the director of prosecution, how can I talk to the ADGCs, or how can I talk to the APOs, and how can I talk to the judge, how can I talk to the special secretary law in the law department, or special secretary law, or even the Samiksha Adhikari or the clerical staff of the government, because the file moves in the government through the clerical staff. So every place I have to work, I have to talk, I have to function. So legal opinion mandatory at the charge sheet level. That was not prevalent in UP. I got this lesson from Himachal Pradesh, and I talked to different district attorneys, like Kulbhushan ji, he was Mandi side of district attorney Mandi, and one was district attorney in Shimla, Parmar ji. So I still remember their names. Director of Prosecution UP, talking to the district attorneys of different districts of Himachal Pradesh. I also talked to the Director of Prosecution, Mr. Sen of Himachal Pradesh, because Himachal Pradesh, I found that in this front is number 1 in the country. Besides Himachal Pradesh, a system, a structure is there for getting the legal opinion on the judgment, the legal opinion during investigation in Rajasthan, Delhi, and West Bengal. Rajasthan, Delhi, West Bengal, Himachal Pradesh, these are the 4 states which have, by default, over the years, a beautiful system of getting the legal opinion to improve their investigation and also to go for appeal and revision after the judgment, if there is acquittal or so. So I have learned, UP has learned, I have practiced, I have got it implemented successfully, and now we are number 1. So sharing the data from others, learning from them, and have a hunger for excelling, that makes you something different. Then role of ITSO portal we have seen. In UP, 71% of the cases are finished in POXO cases, and the rape cases are finished within 2 months. So at least you are able to say that because you have a platform, fetching the data from the real time. Feeding and monitoring data about witnesses. Witnesses are are the most neglected. Like I say, generally the prosecution is the most neglected, but in the prosecution, witnesses are the most neglected. Even if you go to the High Court or go to the District Court, you won't find anything for the witnesses to sit. For the best chairs are for the lawyers, for the bar, and for the side benches will be the one who are the wheel of the criminal justice system. Without witnesses, without victim, you can't imagine the criminal justice system. I've raised this issue at different High Court level before the High Court judges. If you go with your son and the driver, both will decide where to sit. So there should be some equality. There should be some dignity, respecting the dignity. I have been also as a witness when I had suspended someone, and the chair on which I was sitting in the district court, there was nothing to sit on that. So the one constable who was knowing that I had been SSP of Lucknow, so he brought some 2 sticks from the outside lawn, and he kept those 2 sticks, and I was sitting on that. So the infrastructure I won't discuss because it's a very soft, very touching point for all of you. When we start about discussing infrastructure, then the whole 2 days will be quite less, I feel. So I won't discuss about the infrastructure. I just say, you just forget about the infrastructure because the posting you have around, even if you are a judge, it will be 2 years or 3 years, prosecutors 3 years. I am maximum 3 years. So within 3 years, you can't improve the infrastructure. You have to excel, whatever you have. Alerts on adjournments and acquittals. That has, this we are tapping. The moment we get the acquittal, we get a notice, alert message, and on that we function. In Mukhtar Ansari case, we got 3 judgments. Later on, I will discuss how we made that. But 3 judgments, the start was that he was acquitted by the ADJ court. And our public prosecutor gave the statement that this case is not fit for appeal. And there we have started for appeal. So where to get the information that it has been acquitted? So you must have a system to tap this information that the case has been acquitted. So on e-prosecution, we are getting that. The mobile numbers, we are getting that. And e-prosecution mobile app, we are the domain expert in that. And we have got it developed. And we are the largest user in the country. And we are making best use of that. And by using that, by getting the information about the adjournments, you can go for appeals. There are so many cases. I told you there's huge pendency. You don't go after the huge pendency. Even as a judge, even as a prosecutor, you see which cases will be decided fast. Select those cases, low-hanging fruits, and then work on that. You can't see all, and for the prosecutors, getting acquittal is not a good thing. For a judge, getting acquittal is as good as getting conviction. For the prosecutors, getting acquittal is a bad thing, and getting conviction is a good thing. So you decide which cases you can get conviction. And through monitoring, there are different monitoring level meetings, and through that you can improve upon. There is the involvement of prosecutors right from the beginning. Then the trial program, I am focusing on trial length. In US, the prosecutors are evaluated, the judges are evaluated on the trial length. It's very important, not like in our country where the trial length could be of 45 years. Last year, a case was decided after 45 years. A case of simple marpeet was decided in 22 years in Etawah district. Simple case of 323, 504, 506, decided after 23 years. What does it mean? So the trial length is very important, and the conviction within 1 month, now it is 34, it is 2 months old data, of the POCSO cases. Earlier in 2020, the conviction in 1 month was only 5, and now it has come up to 34. And that thing we have learned from Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh was pioneer in getting the criminals convicted in POCSO cases within 1 month. That's a beautiful step taken by Madhya Pradesh prosecution, Madhya Pradesh judiciary, and Madhya Pradesh police. And I got the lesson from them, and I'm also doing well in that. Innovative method of service of summons. This is the biggest problem. This is the national problem, service of summons. in the civil cases, you have N-STEP, National Service Tracking of Electronic Processes. That is for civil cases. For the criminal cases, they have yet to decide, though it has been devised by NIC Pune, but still in the criminal cases, the high courts have to take the lead and they have to decide that N-STEP will be applicable to. It is real time. The moment you press the submit button, that the next date for the witness is this date by the judge, automatically within fraction of a second it goes to the someone who is going to serve the summons, like the SHO of the police station. So it's a beautiful one. And you get the data, it has been served, the photograph of the person, the GPS location, the signature, the digital signature of the person whom you are serving the summons. But it has to be, so whenever you meet at the district level, the state level with the high court judges, you should emphasize it. And even if you are a police officer, through the State Apex Committee meeting headed by the Chief Secretary, you should emphasize it that for the criminal matters also the N-STEP should be implemented. And the monitoring cell meeting, monthly prosecution meeting of DM, crime meeting of SP, these three are the three important pillars. Monitoring cell meeting, we had also been SPs, and the monitoring cell meeting headed by district judges was something only for a tea party type. And nothing concrete was discussed. Monthly prosecution meeting of the district magistrates, we used to get only half-page report. Half-page report, it includes the signature of 5-6 officers. So you can imagine only 2-3 lines reports of the monthly prosecution meeting. So we have set the agenda for the district magistrate, 16 different points on which they will be holding the monthly meeting and they will be sending the reports. Earlier, they were not sending the reports to the director of prosecution, they will send it to the government. But again, I got the letter issued to the government and they are sending it, and we are evaluating the district magistrates that how they are performing in prosecution. And they are getting evaluated on that. So getting a system innovated and getting it function, this is the important part. In the crime meeting of SPs, we are emphasizing on that, on service of summons. And the innovative method of service of summons, we have 2 WhatsApp groups. On one WhatsApp group, you have the prosecutors, the police officers, the Thana Parokas, the court moherers. And the second WhatsApp group, if the witness comes, and every prosecutor has 2 and 3 courts in its field, so the witness has to wait. So the court moherer will be holding that witness, otherwise he will flee away. So another WhatsApp group with the DGC, ADGCs, the court moherers and the APOs. So bringing the witnesses and holding in the court also. So there are 2 different WhatsApp groups. And that's why we are very successful and we have improved the service of summons and production of witnesses in the courts. This is the challenge, the gaps and challenge for the district judges here, for the police officers here, and for the prosecutors here. The feeding, fetching, and sharing data. Just with that, the CCTNS has improved. Because the FIR is going to the judges, CCTNS has improved a lot. How? The FIR which we were printing, because getting the FIR registered is the toughest job, like climbing the Mount Everest. And if you get the FIR registered and get it printed, the font size was only 8. It's very difficult to read. And the judges who are in their 40s, they cannot read even with their specs. So it was, I can't say it was well-devised way, but the system was not functioning. And that complaint came from all the district judges, all the district courts of UP. And we improved from font 8, it was improved just double, 14. So you can imagine the size of the font. I also couldn't read. So, but I got this notice when the judges complained us. So it was improved from size 8 to 14. The charge sheet also, this font size improved from 8 to 14. The case diary size also improved from 8 to 14. And now the case diary is all digital, all being printed. So wherever you are, as the district judge, as the prosecutor, you should demand from the IOs that the digital diary should be printed from the CCTNS portal itself. And you can also ask for the criminal history of the accused which they are saying that is the biggest dacoit of this district. So you can ask, give me the criminal history of the accused from the CCTNS portal. The judges should demand, and once you start demanding, the CCTNS will improve. So it is the combined effort of all the three stakeholders that this criminal justice system will improve. Then we have the mobile app I saw, so that you can feed the data from the court premises itself. And the e-prosecution, we have the advantage that it's on open internet, so you can access it from anywhere, even if from your house, anywhere from the open internet. It has, of course, with the security provisions from the NIC. When the regular meeting of ICJS is very essential, because what you want is a tough thing. The NIC has to devise the program for that. So you must approach the ICJS meeting headed by the Chief Secretary. We have provided laptops to all prosecutors. We have developed master trainers in our prosecutors. In each district, we have master trainers. And since all the prosecutors were hanging on only to the master trainers, so I made 2 assistant master trainers, and each 6 months, I keep on changing. So all the prosecutors in UP are master trainers now. So this is something like innovative way. You don't hang on to one person. If someone is dedicated, working hard, it doesn't mean you just put all the burden on his shoulder. This is the general trend. If you are a good judge and you are deciding fast, best judges, then you will be overloaded. If you are a good IO, then you will be overloaded. So many cases will be given to you. And one who is doing nothing, he enjoys the life most. Then the first time in the country we have done that the SCR, the annual confidential report of the gazetted officer, the prosecutors in UP are written from the real-time data fetched from e-prosecution portal. Nowhere in the country, for any officer, not to speak of the gazetted officers, this system is implemented. But we have got it implemented. I was quite opposed by the Association of Prosecutors Association, but I got it through because I am here for the last 3 years, so I have also half law type person and half police type person. So whatever I prepare very diligently. All the counter affidavits in the high courts, I file myself. I don't get any legal assistance from any prosecutor. And I also prefer that I should be presented before the Honorable Judge of the Honorable High Court so that I can impress upon him and get some benefit. But only 2 and 3 cases I was able to be benefited. And once I was heading the technical services, the CCTNS of UP, and I devised UP Cop, which was adjust the best mobile app of the country. That too started with the bad writing of an IO. I always say in all my training programs of the district judges and the CJMs that the judges, they have done something in their past life because they have to read the writings of the IOs. Reading, and High Court judge, he was Honorable Justice Atahur Rahman Masoodi of High Court of Lucknow bench. He was not able to read the case diary of the IO. So he called upon the Director of Prosecution. Director of Prosecution said, it is none of my business, DGP is interested for that. So the notice was sent to DGP. DGP entrusted me to appear before it. I was looking for such opportunities. I always look for such opportunities to present before the Honorable High Court. And the case continued for over 1 year, and the budget of CCTNS was only 10 crores. It improved from 10 crores to 150 crores. You can just imagine. The toners which we are getting, the Thana we are getting 2 toners per year. The Honorable Judge asked his steno that how many toners he used. He said 2 toners per month. So he said make 24 toners per year. From 2 toners per year, it went to 24 toners per year. Then I also asked that whoever goes for registration of the, say, auto theft case, Then the Thana says, bring one ream of paper first, then I will start writing our FIR. So this is the biggest problem about the Thana. They don't have a stationery. So for medium police stations, we have 5 ream per month, and for the larger, 12 ream per month. So I got it issued that also. Heavy duty printers, I said, sir, you have to provide copies to all the witnesses when the charge sheet is filed, so the police doesn't have fund. So he ordered heavy duty printers costing 50,000 rupees to all the police stations, 1,600 police stations. So you can imagine, once you impress upon the High Court judge, I always say, before I have said to the Chief Justice of the High Court also, that you are not meant for listening to the bail applications. Generally, first half the High Court goes in that. Your judgment should be something which improves upon which creates the whole changes in the whole structure. Like this one, the CCTNS. What UP CCTNS is, just because of one Honorable High Court Justice. And UP COP, I said about the case diary, digital case diary. All the IOs were saying that we don't know typing on the computers. They do lots of typing on Facebook and Twitter and WhatsApp, but when it comes to the typing, they said we don't know. So I got issued contempt notices for 5 SPs. So just after 1 month, they all started writing. And one thing I got the structural change, I got the issue from the DGP that all the constables, all the sub-inspectors, new recruits, like for the IPS officers, we have the motor driving qualifying test. For the Hindi typing, in UP it is Hindi and English typing will be qualifying test for all the constables and all the sub-inspectors. It has become mandatory. And without passing that, you won't get the certificate. So these are the changes we have done because everybody is working on the same platform. If you see that I am something big type and others are inferior, in NPA, I told the Supreme Court judge, so that the technology is a great enabler, and besides being enabler, it is a great leveler. There should not be a difference between an IO sub-inspector and the Supreme Court judge. On the Digital India mission, Digital India platform, all are same. All have different duties and responsibilities. IO has also specified duties and responsibilities. You have different duties and responsibilities. All are same. So first thing we should do, we should also treating with respect the IOs who are at the lowest rung. So the technology has one advantage, that it is a great leveler. And you also know that your chaparasi class 4 employee walks or talks on your phone or sends WhatsApp message for leave. Earlier it was unimaginable that a constable talking to the SP concerned that I want leave. It was unimaginable. But now the technology is a great leveler. Then charge framing, examination of witnesses and appeal. These 3 are, like I said, Trimurti. For effective prosecution, I treat them 3 Trimurtis. Charge framing. Now I made it so popular that district SPs call me that, sir, I was not earlier knowing what is charge framing. What exactly you mean by charge framing? We only knew about charge sheet. Beyond charge sheet, it was a taboo for the police to tread upon. The environment of the police ended with the charge sheet. Now, in UP, the police is going up to the judgment. From the charge frame to the judgment, that is a trial length. That to be in 1 month, that has become the target of the police, target of the prosecutors in UP. So the charge framing is very important, especially when you want to control the crime. Then the dreaded criminals, they don't allow the charges to be framed. Mukhtar Ansari, for the last 20 years, he did not allow the charges to be framed for the last 20 years. We made an effort, and just in 2022, last year, we made charge framing in 7 cases of Mukhtar Ansari. We framed in 7 cases, the charges were framed. And in all the top 65 mafias that the state has listed, my first target is charge framing. It is the beautiful word for the mafias. They all know, but we don't know. We don't know the importance of it. Unless you frame the charge, the criminal justice system won't roll. But for the petty cases, charge framing is not important. For the petty cases, the examination of witness is important. So these two are the important pillars. And the third is appeal for acquittals. For the conviction and acquittal, we have the Gujarat Supreme Court order where you go for the acquittal reports, acquittal report committee. I have got the order issued by the government of the conviction report committee also, because with the conviction report, you get the best practices, how the conviction was made, what the judge is writing in that, what are the best part the judge is feeling about a particular case. So we should read both conviction and acquittal reports. The rest you are knowing, the e-court services app, it should also be made much more simpler, and all the police officers here, for knowing the next date, e-court services app is a beautiful app, open to all. All police officers should download it, and you can customize, and whatever the important case you have, you just pull it in your My Case folder, and you will get the information about the next date, what happened on the last date, what are the different dates available, and with that you can make comment upon that. So I wrote to the Principal Secretary Law that after 72 cases in the top mafia of Lucknow, not even single witness was recorded. Through e-court services app, you can get such observations. So you have such beautiful apps, and you can improve the system by analyzing the data from that. These are the KPIs. The annual confidential report of the prosecutors are written. So what KPI should be? So we discuss about the different, what are the different good points on which we can evaluate our prosecutors worldwide, and we have devised these 12 KPIs. So when our union, prosecutors union, went to the chief secretary, he said, how you are evaluated? Sir, KPI lag gaya hai koi sahab. Whenever you say KPI is the most modern tool in evaluating something, is the latest one. Key performance indicators. When you tell someone that I don't want to be evaluated on key performance evaluators, then he won't understand you. And I am also discussing with the High Court E-Court Committee that for the judges also, there should be key performance indicators. And they are working upon that, and sooner in the UP, the judges will also have the key performance indicators. And this is the order, the government order I have got. This is the government order, I have got it done, issued. It's very difficult to get such orders issued. This order, I have got it issued from the Principal Secretary Home to all the DMs, to all the prosecutors. Similar order, I have got it issued from the Principal Secretary Law for all those political appointees, DGCs and ADGCs. If I issue an order that I am the Director of Prosecution, I will issue an order, it will be thrown in the dustbin. Nobody will study, nobody will read, given importance. But these orders are the landmark through which nobody in the country is able to beat UP on e-prosecution portal. Our data feeding is 1 crore plus. The number 2 state which is coming is Madhya Pradesh at 24 lakhs. From 100 lakhs to 24 lakhs, the difference between first and second. This is the e-prosecution mobile app, e-prosecution web portal on which you can, through CNR, you can get the acquittals and convictions. You can get about the different designation wise, the name wise, you can evaluate their performances. You can track the cases. The biggest problem with the prosecutor or the judges or the police officer is that who is doing what, when and where, nobody knows. If I want to know that my APO in Agra, what he has done yesterday, there was no platform to know that. So these Digital India Mission platforms have given you a portal on which you can see who is doing what, when and where. And when I was addressing the district judges, I emphasized the point, the district which are less important, like the Kasganj and Eta in UP, nobody wants to go there. But the performance on e-court by the judges were the best about the consumption of the charge sheet. about the best in these two districts. The bigger district, the Lucknow, was the least performing district. So the judges should also try to use the e-court web portal they have, because the data integrity, you will be feeding on that. From there, we will be fetching the data. One data I faced from the e-court about the POXO cases disposal, Aligarh was saying only one in 2022. It means the judges are not feeding it. So the judges should also feed. You have big problem. You don't have someone computer operator. You have only one person, and he is hiring another 3 person on his own behalf. So you have so many problems. I won't discuss about that problem. I am working in the abyss of that problem itself. No problem has been lessened or decreased in my purview. Yet I am performing. So what you should try to perform whatever resources you have. This is about the witness examination. Because my always witnesses, I love them most. And they are least regarded person in the whole criminal justice system. You have chairs, we have tables, we have so much staff. But for the witnesses, you don't have any place to sit upon. No chair for witness. Go to any court all over the world. No chairs for witnesses. And if they come, in India, you don't have any system to record how many witnesses were called, how many appeared, how many examined, and how many returned without being examined. No system. In e-prosecution portal, we have added that system through NIC. So we are the first in the country who are at least getting this data that how many witnesses are being examined and how many they are getting their compensation money. So these two fronts on ICJS meeting and through the government, you should write that this money I need the money to give to the witnesses because they are coming to the courts. This is the data I have taken. These data which I am showing you for the last many slides is not an easy data. Most difficult data. This is the different data about the police officers they reached in the courts. You see in Balia, in 2021, 325, 2022, 987. So you can imagine, doctors coming 78 to 127. And these are the 17 districts who have performed more than 50%, more than double. So this is an effort. And on the right side, you see, is a screenshot from the e-prosecution mobile app through which I know that which prosecutor of my department is doing what. And this is the data, this I have shown to the government also, that how to improve upon. And the credit goes to the two WhatsApp group, but at the same time, I will emphasize that these trio should shed their egos and function together. Because ultimately the judgments are given by the judges, not by the prosecutor, not by the police. Ultimately, the judges are to decide the cases. So you have to brief the judges also. And judges are not your enemies. That I am finding the truth, till I find the truth, I won't decide. They also want to decide because they are monitored by the Honorable High Courts. And you start with POXO cases. I started with POXO cases. Today's world, the Supreme Court has created such an aura that POXO cases have become the most important thing. And no judge will try to linger the POXO cases. So take this opportunity and impress upon, so every month, my JD, DGCs, ADGCs, and the nodal police officer, they go to meet the district judge. And the district judge calls other judges, they meet together, they find which are the low-hanging fruits, which are the cases in which you can decide fast. If the convictions are given, that lifts the aura of the district court also. In that, the district judge of Varanasi, he's the most cooperative among all the district judges. So we have the maximum convictions in Varanasi. Then comes Bareilly. It all depends upon how our JDs, joint directors, how our SPOs, POs, DGC, ADC, they are meeting the district judges, the judiciary. Ultimately, they have to decide. in the monitoring cell meeting, how they are going in the monitoring cell meeting, how prepared are they, that these are the cases on which we want to decide. Because the judges have also been entrusted by the Honorable High Court to clear the cases pending more than 25 years. So they also can't decide those cases unless they get the support from the prosecutors and the police. So there should be a friendly match. So there should be a friendly get-together that will be helping you, you should help us. So this is the environment we have created in UP. So everybody is functioning. Ultimately, the judges, so we have to respect the judges. We have our IO, the CCTNS police, the police forces, they should also feel that the judges can deliver the judgment only when the witnesses are there, the evidence is concrete, cogent, reliable, foolproof. So you have to prove upon that. And the investigation you can improve through the CCTNS portal. Because I told you, only the judges read the case diaries, not our supervisory officer, not our SPs, only the judges. So he's the first person and the last person to read the case diary. So if our officers start monitoring such case diaries and make it foolproof, make it more scientific, even without any evidence, if the material evidence, if you have the natural evidence, that speaks volumes. Jyoti murder case you might have heard of Kanpur, there were no eyewitness. No eyewitness. It was the most important case of UP, and all were punished just with the material evidence. Scientific and material evidence, they can't be corrupted. They speak the truth. They are natural. The natural evidence is the most important evidence. Not like that, one gawah, chashmadid gawah, humne dekha, kuch nahi. If you have the material evidence, if you have the natural evidence, in the language of the person who is the victim, not the victim is illiterate and you are writing a beautiful Hindi, then he will be confused. When you go for the cross-examination, he said, no, I haven't said that, because he is not understanding. And if you are writing some Urdu word, Chashmadid and Majid Bayan type, he won't understand what is Majid Bayan. So you have to write the evidences in the language of the person who is the victim or who is the witness. Only then he will be able to communicate when there is cross-examination, when there is examination in chief. Only then he will be able to communicate. Otherwise, it's very difficult to communicate. This is the data I have shown you for the last 3 years. In the crime against women, UP is number 1, 222% of the national average. And just the credit goes to all the trio. Because prosecution, I understood from the beginning that as director of prosecution, I can do nothing. So this is the revelation. बहुत सारे revelation लोगों को होता है ना, पहाड़ पर भगवान का होता है. This revelation I had, I can't do anything on my behalf. So whatever I have to do, I get the order issued from the Principal Secretary Home, I get the order issued from the Principal Secretary Law, and I get the order issued from the DGP. I don't issue order on my behalf. I just follow those orders belligerently, minutely, and getting them punished. But the orders I initiate from these 3 stakeholders, biggest stakeholders. And this is the jump you see in the POXO cases. In 2020, the conviction was 535. In 2022, it is 2,313. 4 times. You all see 4 times increase. In just 2 years, 4 times increase. The resources haven't increased. Nothing has increased. Neither the number of judges, number of courts, number of stenos in the courts, number of prosecutors, nothing. All remaining same. These things have increased. So you can do it. So this is the agenda you should take. Given the resources, you can do it. You just have to focus on that. You don't get diverted from the issues of lack of infrastructure, lack of manpower, lack of resources, no vehicles for the prosecutors, no urinals for the lady prosecutors in the district courts. There are so many problems. We will address those problems, but the government is paying us money for certain duties and responsibilities, and we have to do with the best of our efforts. This is the e-court services app. This is the most beautiful app. I use it belligerently. And I got the order issued from the DGP that all the IOs, which they are trying to emphasize, all the cases from the My Cases list, they can fetch it and it will communicate to you. So it's a very beautiful app. And you can search it, through different parameters. The case number record, like, and the moment we have started interacting, like you see, the same thing we talk differently. Judges will talk about CNR, case number record. Police doesn't understand that case number record. Police talks in terms of crime number. Prosecutors are midway, so they talk about ST number, session trial number, and also the crime number. So the Thana gets disconnected. So when we are working on that, lots of cases, thousands of cases, we are not linking up, because in e-courts portal, the Thana was not, police station field was not mandatory. So we got that field mandatory by NIC, because we are interacting. So we came to know that without Thana being mandatory, the police station cannot, the prosecutors won't be able to face the cases Thana-wise, police station-wise. So the moment we start interacting, we got the font size improved because the judges started reading the FIRs, the case diary, the charge sheet. We got the font increase from 8 to 14, just double. So when we start interacting, the things will improve. UP-CAPT, which was the best mobile app of the country, that was improved by CJM Kanpur. Because, and whoever is objects, suppose somebody is quashing your FIR, then you will become egoist. That how he has done that? No, nothing. I always welcome the Kabir's theory, निंदक नियरे राखिए. कैसे रखिए? ये नहीं कि बाहर रोड पर बैठा दिए, कंबल दे देना है, बोरा नीचे बिछा दो भाई. निंदक नियरे राखिए, आंगन कुटी छवाए. In your, not in the drawing room, but in your sitting room, what you call living room, where you sit with your wives, children, आंगन, in the very inside, उसमें भी कुटी, माने warmly you have to keep. So if somebody is criticizing you, you have to take the feedback very warmly and openly, only then you can improve. And we improved upon that because if somebody is giving the FIR from the mobile app, from the mobile, he won't write Seva mein, again next line, Prabhari Nirikshak Gomti Nagar, next line, Mahoday, comma, next line, the whole, you can't write in the mobile, the whole application. He will write an application, sign it, take the photograph or scan it, and upload on the UP-CAPT. And the next he will just text like, take care, TK, like something like that. The judge said, whatever is in the mobile app, whatever is the printed one, the same thing should be there in the, what he is communicating in the text message. He was right. It can't be different. So we devised a different thing, that the same FIR, what was written there, through the different apps, which are voice to text, we converted those things. We got the computer operators in the e-Thana itself, and we got it changed. And from the voice to text, we get the whole FIR again in the text form, and then we included in that. So whatever the way we are sharing each other's data, we can improve upon. So mingling each other is the crux of that. This is the most favorite portal you have. So I feel all the judges are getting the charge sheet, getting the FIR. In UP, the charge sheet they are getting, I feel. They are consuming only charge sheet. In Delhi, they are consuming both charge sheet and FIR. So different states have different level of improvements. So it all depends upon the monitoring, because monitoring judges is not also a very simple thing. I feel because monitoring prosecutor is one of the toughest thing. Monitoring lawyers is not a simple job, because they are all Vidwan, nobody is a simple one, they are all learned ones. And influencing a learned one, you have to first de-learn him, then you have to learn him. So it is a different thing. They will start, sir, we are not babus, we won't feed it. We are not clerical staff, we are the gazetted officer appointed by the Public Service Commission. I said, the data entry and the other states are lacking because they are taking this line. I said that one data entry operator just getting 50,000 rupees, he is not knowing what is 313 CRPC, he is not knowing what is 164 CRPC. He is not knowing what is charge frame, he is not knowing what is final argument. पूरा आर्गुमेंट तो कर ही लिए भाई, अब कौन सा फाइनल आर्गुमेंट बचा है? He is not knowing, there are so many things. He is not knowing what is appeal, what is revision, what is cross-examination, what is examination chief, what is re-examination. So there are so many terminologies of the 5-year law course a person of 15,000 cannot learn in 1 month. So you have to do it and you have to own it. And I used to give them certificates. Our prosecutors were not getting certificates, they were getting only censor entries. Now more than 60% they have got certificates from me and they are getting awarded. Now they are owning up that responsibility. So whatever the success story we are having, I let my prosecutors own that, so they are feeling pride in that. So you see the top right, you have, it looks like something like Bharat Ratna award type. I have copied from that. Really, I have copied from that. The whole structure, the design is copied from that. And you see how we are awarding them. And they are framing it, they are keeping in their house. And so their wives and the children are also thinking that my husband or my father is doing a lot of work. Otherwise, the prosecutors have very tough time telling their wives and children that they are worth of something. So through this, they are, and the DGC, I told you earlier, that prosecution is a fractured one. DGC and ADC earlier they were saying, they were not reporting to me. They used to say that I am not under you. So it's very beautiful. Nothing is under me, even my prosecutors are not under me. So I got a meeting from the law minister, all the DGCs of the state. And I asked them, you have to feed the data on the e-prosecution, which is the portal of Digital India Mission of the Government of India. They said, then we'll be monitored. I said, why not? So getting monitored is a taboo type. Nobody wants to be monitored. Everybody wants to be free, independent. And when you are in the judiciary, or we have read only one page of law, then independence word is the most common word, most beautiful word. You want to be independent. Nothing is independent in the world. Even the electron is moving around the atom, is not independent, is moving with a certain law, the Bohr's law, whatever law you call. Even you are a husband, as a husband, are you independent? Are your not mobile phones under surveillance when you return back home? So nobody is independent. I said, if you want to be independent, resign and go to Kedarnath, Badrinath, even go higher, Yamunotri, Gangotri. You go and reside there. No wireless connection, no Airtel or BSNL connection. You enjoy your life there. If you are here, then you have to be accountable to all. So they started feeding. And when they started feeding, then I am with the data. I started evaluating. And I have good rapport with all the top officers. So I went with the Principal Secretary Law. These are the performance of our DGCs, ADCs, political appointees. And these are the prosecutors whose licenses should not be renewed. And these are the prosecutors whose salaries should be withheld. So I withhold the salaries of DGCs, ADCs. I got their renewal stopped. So they started calling me. So I get more number of calls from DGC, ADCs for that certificate, because their renewal depends upon that. So the Digital India Mission unified this fractured prosecution structured into one strong one. The DGCs, ADCs, they were not coming to our JD's office because I am not under you. Now they are coming to the office to get the data feeded on this portal. So we have all become one, and since all the prosecutors are one, and in the other states where they are not one, so they cannot match us. So for the next 3-4 years, the UP is going to get number one trophy. I used to tell, this year I also told the whole gathering for the next 3 years, it is reserved for UP. And the top you see, the witnesses we are calling, the Chief Secretary Alok Ranjan Saab. We are calling everyone, we are tracking everyone. Since he is the Chief Secretary, and if he goes to the court, he needs some sort of respect and dignity, someone to guide him. Because if you go in the High Court, in the one chamber, you can't reach unless somebody guides you. So we have got two ex-chief secretaries as a witness in different. So it has sent the message, so all formal prosecutors, formal witnesses are coming to the courts. And prosecution, which was not the best thing, the thing which changed the tide was that the CM started calling the director of prosecution in his meeting. So prosecution got the importance. The moment it got the importance, we performed well. So everywhere now the press is filled with the news of criminals getting convicted. Even the MP MLAs are getting convicted. So much of conviction, and prosecution has become the buzzword that now the India Today has called our Chief Minister as the prosecutor. So it is something, earlier it was unimaginable. So the prosecution has become the central point, the focal point. And that was the trophy which we have received from the MHA. I sent to all the districts. So you see the district magistrates, the police chiefs, the DIG ranges, the prosecutors, they are holding the trophy, and the trophy the MHA has given is something like the World Cup, Kapil Dev type trophy. It's not a simple one. So it's a great pulling force. And now we have 2 trophies in my room, and I have made 5 racks for there, so that for the next 5 years they can stack those trophies there. Thank you very much. Any queries if you want, or any lesson if you want to implement in your state, if you want to clarify, I am here to answer your queries. Okay, thank you very much.
So we have to be accountable, and we have to work together. We have to remove our egos, and we should take advantages of technologies. Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with your very informative session, sir. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to request Honorable Director, CAPT, Shri Pawan Srivastava, sir, to present the memento to our chief guest. Sir, I will request you, sir, to please present the memento, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And now I will request Shri B.K. Sharma, sir, Assistant Director, CAPT, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Respected Sri Ashutosh Pandey, IPS, Director General Prosecution, Uttar Pradesh, Sri Pawan Srivastava, IPS, Director CAPT, our most valued invited guest, ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on the opening session of 2 days 5th National Conference on Prosecution at this Academy. On behalf of the Organization Committee, I convey my deep regard and sincere thanks to our Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Ashutosh Pandey, IPS, DG Prosecution UP, for sparing time from his busy schedule to grace this occasion. Thank you very much, sir, for your interesting and thought-provoking address, enlightening the audience with your highly sparkling word. We indeed are highly inspired by your remarkable presence. All of you must admire that at the beginning itself of the conference, sir has given us a glimpse of many strategies, those who are very much helpful for the early disposal of the cases. The things which we are going to discuss in the days to come in this conference. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for all the esteemed participants from prosecution, judiciary, police, forensic, who have shown interest to be a part of this conference to share their views. Thank you very much to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request all of you to please rise for the national anthem. Thank you. Now we will gather in front of the academic block for photo session and followed by high tea. And after high tea, we will assemble in the respective classrooms for syndicate discussions. Thank you. You can move from the behind door also. Yes. Please.
मैं राष्ट्रीय बाल आयोग के लिए पॉक्सो एक जी जी जजेस को